This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Shifting a little money here, a little there, and hoping it all works out? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can be a better budgeter and potentially lower your insurance bill too. You tell Progressive what you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll help you find options within your budget. Try it today at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Protein is now at Starbucks, and it's never tasted so good. You can add protein cold foam to your favorite drink or try one of our new protein lattes or matcha. Try it today at Starbucks.
Hi, I'm Jeffrey Craner, and my friend Cecil Baldwin loves horror movies, and he's helping make this genre more approachable for me, and hopefully for you, too. One film at a time in a random order. Are you squeamish about horror movies? Do not worry, we will tell you what happens. Do you adore horror movies? Great! Watch along with us each week. As always, check the show notes for content warnings about this week's episode discussion and film. This week, we randomly rolled a 4 for wildcard and a 1 for foreign language. Here is episode 317.
Adopt number generico. Podcast number 9.
This week on Random Number Generator, Horror Podcast number 9, November 2017. Warning! Spoilers ahead.
Most people know Russian playwright Anton Chekhov through the phrase Chekhov's gun, which basically is that every notable object in a story needs to have a payoff. Like you introduce a gun in Act 1, that fucker better fire off in Act 3. Of course, Chekhov was a brilliant playwright at the beginning of the 20th century. If you've taken any Western lit classes, or especially modern theater classes, you're going to cover Anton Chekhov. Three Sisters and Cherry Orchard were some of the first plays I read in college, and boy, let me tell you, I was not having a good time. It was so boring and so Russian, and everyone was so fucking sad. I wanted the high camp of Angels in America, or the quick wit of Edward Albee, or even contemporary Americana like August Wilson, but we always have to start with the dull, dense shit in these lit classes. And I wasn't alone. Others in my class complained, and then our professor, Dr. Greenwald, said, "Totally, I understand, yes, but try reading Anton Chekhov like you would a Peanuts comic. The sadness is the comedy. It's really, really Russian, you guys. And that clicked for me. I think that was the beginning of my love of playwriting. I couldn't read play scripts before then and imagine them in 3 dimensions. And something about Dr. Greenwald's comment about Chekhov and Charlie Brown put it all together for me. And I started to understand tone and intention more when I read these scripts. I've read and seen hundreds of plays now, but I always come back to this sadness is comedy shit. It's what I really love. It's why I love Brecht so much. It's why I loved The Ugly Stepsisters so much. It's why I've come to love horror movies so much, and in particular this week's film, November, a 2017 Estonian folk horror. This thing is Chekhov as all get out. Rich people are sad, but wealthy. Poor people are sad, but clever. Everyone is sick and the weather sucks and love is far from being requited. Everything looks gross and it's funny as hell. Hi, Cecil.
Hi, Jeffrey.
Who's your favorite Peanuts character?
Oh, I mean, I do rather like Snoopy when he's fighting the Red Baron. I always thought that was fun. Oh,
yeah.
Like, just only specifically that moment, those moments. Just because he's so serious about it.
Yeah.
Like, he's so serious. Like, he has his little cosplay on. He's got his special little goggles.
I love that too. I remember having collections of Peanuts as a kid and reading through really old comics. And Charles Schulz, at one point in time, I think in the 1970s, just went on several weeks in a row where he only followed Snoopy fighting the Red Baron.
Oh,
it was this
nice.
really kind of pretty dark tale about war and conflict and what it's like to be alone on the front. And it was just really strange. His stuff was so bleak and I loved it.
Oh, that's great.
Honestly, I love all of the girls in the Peanuts comic.
Okay, sure. So like Lucy is the
and
one.
Peppermint.
I was never a big Peanuts guy. Like I watched it at like Halloween and Christmas, but I never like read the comics. I was much more of an Charles Adams, Calvin and Hobbes, and Far Side. That was like my triumvirate.
Yeah, those are really great. I was a completist of Far Side and Calvin and Hobbes and Bloom County. Yeah. But yeah, so many Lucy, of the girls are. Lucy is like crazy mean to Charlie Brown.
Yeah, like the therapist is in. Gotcha.
Yeah, and then pull the football away. Also, all of the kind of like tertiary girl characters in the comic strip are always
Peppermint Patty.
Oh, there's Peppermint Patty. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, queer icon.
I never really got what her deal was.
No, she's just gay.
She's just like, I'm here. She's like,
yeah. And Marcy and her girlfriend Marcy. But yeah, all the other like tertiary girls were so mean to Charlie Brown, which I really loved. Yeah. And then there's Sally, who had the big crush on Linus.
That's right. Oh, that's right. Draped over the piano. Of course. Yes.
Listen, I was just giddy watching this movie because all I could think about was Peanuts. This is one long Peanuts comic strip is what this movie is.
Yeah, I could see that.
In the most Anton Chekhov sort of depressing way.
Yeah, and I could see the Anton Chekhov as well. It's Anton Chekhov, but what if magic real?
Yeah, very magical
and also
realism.
Focusing more on the peasant class rather than the sort of landed gentry class. Kind of, you kind of get the peasanty class, but they're always like, oh, happy old Giles over there. Drinking and dancing, pulling out his guitar all the time, and then that's kind of all he does. But this is like, no, we're gonna dive on in.
Yeah, Anton Chekhov, but every character is Pigpen.
Yeah. Yes. Oh my God. Jeffrey, you've seen this film before. Mm-hmm. I had not, and there were multiple times I had picked up my phone and I was like, "What the fuck is happening right now?"
Yup.
What? Huh? Is that cow levitating? This is in the first 5 minutes. But I love this. I love that this movie. I love it when I love magical realism.
Yes.
One. And this movie gives me that. It's like European magical realism in that it's like, hey, before you even see a human being, you're going to get the tool shed monster Krat. Picking up a cow. I was like, oh no, please don't kill it. Oh no, he's stealing a cow. What? Oh, he's a fucking helicopter? One, shooketh I was. But I really loved I really like eased into it. I eased into the bath when we get to the All Souls night. Because it's like, no, magic is real. This shit is like, it's not just because, superstitions are so often excuses to be jerks to each other. It's like a loose system of beliefs that we can just like pick on our neighbors for. And this is like, no, if you go to the crossroads at midnight and you bring the devil will come. Like, it's not a, we're just making shit up. Nope. It's hard and fast rules.
Yeah, there's no question about the realness of anything. Like, I love All Souls Night is so wonderful in this movie.
So beautiful.
I love those fucking ghosts. Ghosts are so good.
I was, immediately like, I love black and white. Photography was like my second love in high school. So like anything black and white, like just the contrast. And this movie does such cool things with whites and darks and contrast. And then you add these people's faces that are just so much an antidote to Instagram, TikTok influencer. Everyone looks kind of smooth and same.
Yeah.
Like these people's faces, I'm like, this is what black and white photography is made for.
I love that the young couple at the center of this story, Hans and Lena, they're really beautiful people. These actors.
They're gorgeous.
But
they're also not shined up.
Right. I love that they have they have done their best to grit up these two beautiful people. It's also like in the day and age of movies are too dark. This movie uses the darkness so well and the lightness so well. Like the true, as you said, like the contrast of black and white is great. Even using makeup to that effect.
Yeah.
Like, it's not
the dead.
It's not blackface, but it's like like a charcoaled out skin that to represent the death. But they don't play it in any type of manner that is like blackface.
No, not in the sort of the American historical sense.
No, I don't.
Is, you're like the color has been you are dead.
Yes, it's
the color has been
like
drained from your body.
Yeah, or the whiteness, the white. Almost like marble statue, classical marble statue look of, say, the lovers on the gondola.
The lovers, the ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
And it also, I really, like, as we got into this movie, I love a movie that is like, you can tell the costume designer did their fucking job.
Yep.
Because they hired a dire distresser.
Oh, yeah. That's a great point.
Like, all the fabric looked distressed. Like, this is what peasants should look like. Because it's one of my things when, like, you're watching a movie and they're like, oh no, it is the 1400s and I am so poor. And I'm like, girl, all your teeth are fully white.
Uh-huh.
Like, fully white and bright. And your clothes have not a bit of dirt on them.
This movie also, at the center of it, it is a love story about...
It is.
A sort of a love triangle. Basically, villager Lena loves villager Hans, but villager Hans is in love with the Baroness, the German Baroness living on the Grand Estate where they're just wintering there, or do they live there? I don't know how how all of that works, but they that's basically it, is the thing. And I think I've said this before, but I inherently find young people in love to be the least interesting part of those types of stories. Sure. Hades Town, the musical, is a fantastic musical. I find the central love story to be super boring, but the rest of it is so fantastic. It is just the jumping off point by which we tell a bigger story. And at this one, I find these two people fascinating.
Right?
These two young people are so interesting.
They really kept my interest because their love was much more nuanced than I love him, he doesn't love me back, I must die. Like, we kind of start off and they're kind of, sort of, they're like, kind of boyfriend girl. It's really more they're just the only two young people in the village.
Yeah. So
everyone just assumes, well, clearly y'all are getting together. But then as it goes on, it's so much more like when Lena, like when she's like, I can't kill this girl because that would make him sad. And making him sad would make me sad. I'm like, oh shit, we have actually hit upon some interesting stuff rather than the usual like, oh, wherefore art thou, Romeo?
Yep. Well, and even the way, we'll get into all that. Let's start at the beginning.
Begin at the beginning with our fucking helicopter cow tool shed.
We open with this wretched looking like 3-legged machine with a cow's skull at the center, and it's rotating like it's just
like
one big wheel.
Yeah.
And it's got
real
like
strong
scythe blades for feet.
Yep. It's sentient. It just sort of rolls into a barn, rolls up to a cow, and I'm like, oh no, don't kill that. Oh no, nope. You're just going to pick it up. Oh, okay. You're going to deliver. Oh, your Uber, your Deliveroo is here.
Yep. Your Uber cow is here. And
That's my Uber cow. Listen, Jeffrey, if I could Uber a horse or a donkey, if that was an option, I would give them so much money.
Oh my God. Can you imagine if New York City had City Donk? You could just go pick up a donkey, check in, ride it around town, drop it off after half an hour.
Yeah. Untapped market.
It picks up this cow, and it basically is stealing a cow from one farm and bringing it to this man, Rock.
A much more poor farm.
A much more poor farm. Rock is Lena's father.
Yes. And I will say, this is something that gave me some contention. The older male characters in this movie, I had a real hard time telling apart. Like Hans's father, Lena's father, I thought were the same person almost throughout the entire film.
The first time I watched it, it wasn't until late in the film that I'm like, oh, those are two different dudes.
Yes. And also Lena's brother? Question mark?
Yeah, I lose him entirely in this. This Krat steals a cow, brings it to Rock, and from the get-go, when this thing arrives, nobody is shocked to see a helicoptering cow skull robot monster. They're like, oh,
give
good, it
work.
stole us the cow. Yeah. The thing says, give me work, spits oil in Rock's face. Mm-hmm. Lena's like, what's wrong with it?
He's like, I don't know. I used all my best tools.
I know. It must just be the rain. Well, so looking up some stuff about Krats in Estonian folklore.
I know I did no research. I'm so sorry.
Basically, it was this movie kind of lays it out. Essentially, you could build an automaton.
Yeah.
And you could go to the devil and you could trade your soul to the devil and it would give a soul to your machine. And
like that the soul of an ex-person or just a soul light? It would just give a
version
of a soul.
Yeah, a version of a soul.
Because these things have personalities, which I love.
And it would and then you could use that. And then you have to give your Krat work. It has to have work to survive. And if it runs out of work, it will die. And if it dies, you die. So the devil. So when the Krat stops working, the devil comes to take your soul. So you have to keep the Krat going. So Rock he tells this Krat that spits in his face. He tells this automaton, he says, fine, go make a ladder out of bread.
I almost texted you that, which is like the best, like, go fly a kite.
It's totally go fly a kite in Estonian. It is a phrase that means basically that. It means fuck off. Well, it takes it literally. It can't do it, and it destroys the Krat.
Sprow. I love it. Lena's like, ooh, it's so pretty when it explodes. I'm like, What is happening on this farm?
We'll learn later that Rock has a whole... Everybody's got a grift in this movie. Like, everybody is stealing from each other and selling back to each other.
Yep.
And we'll learn later when Rock has to go to the crossroads to get he stole that Krat. And also he's been using currant berries as a fake blood to sign the devil's book, to sign the devil's contract. So anyways, it's just everything is a fucking grift in this movie.
Everything's a grift. I also love that he's sort of like, it makes sense that Lena's father is the sort of like male witch. You know, the sort of like, we have our witch and I love her, but we also have, he's the sort of like, well, this is what we do. And like, he kind of knows the magic rules and kind of advises the village on what to do.
He's a thief like everyone else. And he's, he doesn't have strong redeeming qualities as a human to other people, but no one really does in this movie.
No. Listen, it's hard being a peasant.
It is.
It's hard life.
It is. So it's All Souls Day. So it's November 1st.
It's All Souls Day. Go light up the sauna.
That's right. Go light up the sauna because we'll warm up the sauna for the ghosts that return and we get to spend the day with them.
This ghost mythology is fucking fascinating to me.
Yeah.
Because this movie really does. I mean, listen, I am not Estonian. So you are dropped in the middle and just you're like, all right, sink or swim. But I think this movie does it in such a way that it's little bit by little bit by little bit in these. So that way, like folklore, there's a sense to it. There's a common sense to it. There's also a building. If you're like, oh, well, if this is true, then that must be true. If this is true, then also that. But I was like, ooh, it's All Souls Day. Okay, go light the sauna. Lena, she's off on her own adventure because she wants a pretty dress. But
she wants the pretty dress so she can look nice for Mother's return on All Souls Day.
I love it. Just like the maid stealing from the old Baroness unabashedly. I was like, oh man, this is rough. These people are wild. But she's like, hey, you got that silver brooch still? That would earn you a dress. But for that ring, you get a pretty piece of silk. And even later when she wears that, like, I love the look of how rustic their life is, because that pretty piece of silk is in, outside of the mansion, looks like a treasure.
Yeah.
And as soon as she wraps that around her head, she's lighting her candle, going to Mother's grave. Everyone's like, ugh, that tart. Who does she think she is? Wearing silk. Yeah, she's pretty, but have you tried eating pretty? You can't.
She wants to see her mother. And her father, Rock, he's just there to take in his parents. In fact, he keeps referring to them as beasts. And Lena's like, they're not beasts, they're grandmother and grandfather. And he's like, well, they're not human, are they? So they're basically beasts.
Like, I took a peek into the sauna one All Souls Day, and they were just giant chickens. And you're like, what? And then sure enough, they are indeed giant chickens.
For this brief shot, we just see
chicken sauna.
Giant chickens in a sauna.
Chicken sauna. Hear me out. Okay. All right.
God damn it, you're making me open.
All right, Dragon's Den.
All right. Gotta open the band names list again.
Chicken sauna.
Every time I open this thing, I just see stuff that I've forgotten about entirely.
Yeah, like we couldn't even tell you like what movie is this connected
Potatoes
to.
Was
what movie was that attached to? Who knows?
Thing from Another World.
Oh, are you keeping track of like what movie they're attached to?
I'm trying to. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. I love this sort of, you get the background of their family, not because somebody said, your mother, I don't like. No, it's like very apparent, the sort of dynamics of like, even Mother's ghost sort of has to chill on the periphery. And she doesn't come in with the rest of the family. And, like Lena's the only one who's like, ghosts can eat? Cool. Didn't expect that, but they get to like come back for just one day, and you get to check in with your dead family members and give them a piece of bread.
They're almost like a little bit zombie-like, although put together well. I mean, they all look beautiful, yes. But they all kind of seem a little bit lifeless,
distant,
just
shades.
Kind of, yes, but they all seem vaguely hungry. Like you have to keep feeding them.
Yeah.
And you have to keep them warm and you have to keep them fed is basically it. Which is why I think so many of them like stay for a little while, but Lena's mother is gone in a snap.
Yeah.
Because all she really gets is a piece of the bread that Lena brings her from the table. I love this conversation because Lena says to her mother, she was like, I don't know how you survived with Dad for so long. And she goes, well, clearly I didn't.
I didn't.
And I'm like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah. And then the next day, the body of Christ.
One of the things I think was that I gleaned a little bit better this time watching it. So Rock is her father. And also when the dead are there, there's the beggar couple in the village.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They stop two of the ghosts and they're like, hey, so maybe, we have to eat like willow branches and bats and
we eat snow soup for dinner.
Yeah. And they're like, well, do you guys know anything about the Rock's buried treasure? And so Rock, being the same name as Lena's father, there's apparently a lore about a buried treasure in the river. Well, then when Rock's parents are visiting and they're dining, they're not even talking about, hey, son, I've missed you. This is not Coco when it comes to Day of the Dead,
no, it's
All
not.
Souls Day. This is the opposite. Like, there is no loving conversation between father and son, dead father and living son. Dead father basically says, hey, I'm not really worried about my buried treasure. No one will ever find that. Mm-hmm. But I am Curious if you still have my trinkets that I've kept in the house.
Oh, right.
And this
They're
is
like,
where...
Yeah, we totally do.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, what? Where did that ring go? Those darn crats.
Yep. And I find this so interesting because this movie, which is essentially just about... It's almost like the invention of love is kind of the story of this film. That that Lena and Hans, or the story of Lena, really... the love that she feels for him and the love that Hans feels for this idea of a baroness, this young baroness, is novel to almost everyone in the village.
Sure.
And so for somebody like Rock's father, like, not only is he not showing any love to his son, he didn't even like leave the treasure to his son. It was important that he keep a treasure and never tell anyone. He never wanted anyone to find the treasure. And it's like when they say you can't take it with you, like, these guys don't even want to take it with them. They just don't want anyone else to have it.
They just don't want anyone else to have it.
Yeah.
And I love this, like, because we see it pretty early on. We're like, wow, buried underneath those floorboards, they've got like candelabras.
Yep.
Like, I thought that was the secret treasure, which is why at the end, when our Imbi is, and I can't remember her little partner's name, when they find the coins in the river, I was like, oh,
that's the buried treasure.
Oh, but then I was also like, is this even happening? Like, is this like, I don't even know if this is real or not right now.
You know, that buried treasure is such a great point of, like, there's candelabras, but they don't use the candelabra.
No.
When she buys that strip of silk using the ring she stole, Lena wears that little strip of silk to see her mother on All Souls Day, and everyone's kind of like, what is she even doing?
Jeez.
So the idea of even presenting any kind of aesthetic is anathema to life here in this village.
Yeah.
Okay, now we are at the Eucharist.
The body of Christ.
The body of Christ.
I was like, okay, so it is interesting. Like, we do have like a sort of, there is a place for Christianity, but we learn very quickly that it is, sure, they may be going to church, but are they really going to church?
No. So when they receive the Eucharist, they all save the wafer. They spit it out into Sander, who is Hans's father.
Yes.
And kind of is like the de facto mayor of this village. He's like the most wise of anybody in the village.
Yeah.
And kind of looks after people.
He's also a bit of not a blowhard. He's a rough and tumble character.
Yeah. But kind of like the most responsible. Well, they're all spitting out their Eucharist into his hand. And this is when the Baron, human centipede himself.
Yes. I was like, is this Siegfried or Roy that we have here?
Him and his beautiful daughter, the Baroness, both arrive. And the Baroness is like, what are they doing? Why are they spitting out the body of Christ? And the Baron... It's like he's curious about everything, but he does nothing. He interacts almost none with the world, but
he's
he sees
aesthetic.
it.
He is interested in art, music, that be it.
Yes. The world can only be judged, but not actually affected in any way, I suppose. And he turns to basically the woman who's like the village administrator. What is that position?
God.
We'll learn about her later.
She's got her
best.
own fucking grift.
She's so good. But he turns to her and he's like, what are they doing? And she says, well, they know that since it's the body of Christ, they use it as bullets for their gun. Because when they hunt, it's the body of Christ, so it will never. The animals are attracted to the love of Jesus,
so you'll never miss.
Those bullets always kill and never miss. Because it's the body of Christ.
The body of Christ bullet.
We have young Hans, who is so smitten with this Baroness who's arrived. He can't stop looking at her.
Yeah.
And she smiles at him, but she's seeing, as she's hearing this explanation of the body of Christ wafers and ammunition, she's seeing Hans staring at her with a big smile on her face. And when she hears this answer, she says, well, that's a sin. And this actor reading this line, the wry smile she has on her face when she says, that's a sin, and she's looking at Hans this whole time, I'm like, oh my God, that's so fucking sexy. It's so cute. Yeah. It's so
because
funny.
She's thinking about sinning.
Yeah, she's
like, no, don't be bad.
Das ist eine Sünde.
Oh,
I love it. It's so good.
I mean, this goes back to your Chekhov intro. Mm-hmm. So there was a director in Washington, D.C. who ran the studio theater, and she was kind of known for her Chekhov productions were like, she only did one like every 5 years or something crazy like that. But she had this great saying that was like, how you do what you do tells me who you are. And that was her thing about Chekhov, is like, an actor enters the stage, they make the bed, they leave. How are you going to make that bed? Are you doing it all angry like? Are you like, and Chekhov gives you no clue that's the actor's job, to kind of like imbue these very simple lines and very simple actions with personality. So like how that actor read that line tells you everything you need to know about what their psychology and what their deal is. But if you just read that on a page, as most of us do, when you're like, let's read this play, Jesus Christ, this is boring.
Yeah, and you would be like, as an actor, by playing the maid, I have nothing to do. Yeah. Well, this role of the Baroness, she has very few lines.
Yeah.
She says almost, I think, in fact, all of it is this one scene. I don't know that we hear from her again vocally.
Yeah, I don't think so.
We see her a lot, and she embodies this character beautifully. It's almost all not even dance, but it's movement.
Oh my God. We're going to talk about the photography of her somnambulistic activities.
Okay, let's talk about the devil for a second. So,
yes. So our crat sucks. Our crat sucks. We need to make a new one. We need to start afresh without making a crat.
Rock has to go get... He goes to Sander, asks him for currants because he's going to go trick the devil. So the way you have to call the devil is there's a literal crossroads in the woods. You go there, you whistle for the devil, and this fucking clown-ass devil.
I love it.
It's
so like unhinged good. Father Christmas.
Yep.
It's unhinged Ghost of Christmas present.
But if any of you are mall Santas, please just go as this character one year. Just see how many kids you can get to start sobbing.
Bad Santa. This is where I was like, okay, this is getting good. Because it's like, he whistles and it's like, he whistles again. And it's the trees like get this sort of kind of strobe effect. So it's like black, white, black, white, black, white. There's a chicken appears out of nowhere, of course. And I love it that Satan is more trickster god than bwahahaha.
Yeah. Agreed.
Like it's more Loki, like you don't not to be trifled with, but also you can trifle with him a little bit if you're smart enough.
This devil is just like the villagers. Like everything is transactional. Everything is a trick. Everything is a grift. You have to be smarter than everybody else. You have to fool me once because he's going to learn from this black currant thing.
I like the sort of setup when Rock goes to Sander and he's like, listen, I got a crat. Also, the way they treat that crat is like, you're like, oh, everybody's crat's a little bit different. Theirs is like kind of sad robot crat. Mm-hmm. But he's like, my name is in the devil's book. Psh, whatever. I was like, oh, I see. Okay, I see what the trick is. So you like smush up the berries and you pretend to sign.
And then you get the fuck out of there.
And then you leave real fast. He's like, boom, you got a new crat. It's waiting for you at home.
Because the devil then licks the book where he signed in blood.
Yeah, he wants that blood.
He wants that blood, but he spits it out. It's disgusting. Ugh, currants.
But he just throws like a temper tantrum. It's so not serious.
Yep.
Until it is very serious.
Yeah. We also learned that Lena is a werewolf.
Yes. Werewolf. I couldn't tell if she's.
But
if she's shapeshifter or more like Beastmaster rules, where it's like because it's like, I think she sees through the eyes of a wolf. I couldn't tell.
She becomes a wolf.
She becomes a wolf. Okay.
So she goes into the woods on the full moon, and she rubs up with this oil.
She just wants to roll around.
Yeah, and then
girl just wants to roll around the snow.
Well, she also uses it to watch Hans. Because it's a way of... Because so, like, Hans...
I know.
Hans sits out by the tree watching the Baroness through her window every night. And so on the full moon, she can go as a wolf, and she just curls up in Hans's lap as a wolf.
I wonder if... I don't think Hans knows she's a werewolf.
No.
I don't think Hans knows that's her.
No.
Like, she just wants affection from him. And she's like, well, if I got to be a wolf to do that...
That's how I do it.
At least I get some pets.
This is where we're kind of seeing this love triangle at work. Yeah. But back at home, her dad, Rock, is hanging out with the pig farmer, Endel. And basically just in their hanging out drinking, Rock promises that Endel can marry his daughter, Lena. Basically, like, I want your pigs.
A blessing on your house, mazel tov, to see your daughter. Like, this is very Anatevka.
Yeah.
The, like, I'm going to bid off my daughter who's in love with somebody else. Is like, okay, Fiddler on the Roof. Like,
yeah.
Gentile Fiddler on the Roof here.
And it's part of the grifting. You're just trading things for other things. You're robbing Peter to pay Paul is kind of the ongoing struggle in this village. And it gets to the point where it's like, we're not just trading trinkets for silk swaths. We're trading daughters for not even a pig farm. We learn that he has
a pig.
He has a pig.
And we have to wait until that pig gets fat. Because otherwise, what good is this trade?
And it's not really fattening up, so maybe we can get married at Christmas. And Lena's like, who? You and your pig?
You're going to marry that pig?
You two pigs are marrying each other? Wait, how are you going to marry her when you've already cut her throat to make her for dinner?
No.
He's like, no, you. I'm marrying you.
What? Get the fuck out of here.
Fuck off.
Planning a wedding shouldn't feel overwhelming. The Knot brings everything together in one place. Vendors who get your vibe, a custom planning checklist, guest list tools, and a free wedding website that syncs with it all. So instead of juggling a dozen apps and spreadsheets, you can actually enjoy getting married. Get started at theknot.com/audio. The Knot. Let's plan your wedding together.
The world moves fast. Your workday, even faster. Pitching products, drafting reports, analyzing data. Microsoft 365 Copilot is your AI assistant for work. Built into Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and other Microsoft 365 apps you use. Helping you quickly write, analyze, create, and summarize. So you can cut through clutter and clear a path to your best work. Learn more at Microsoft.com/M365 Copilot.
Let's talk about the Baron a little bit.
Okay. The Barons. Okay, so we leave the village behind.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go up to the fancy house.
The fancy Germans. The Baron is out walking and he runs across Ince, who is basically like the butler. We have Ince and Louisa the maid, and Ince the butler at this manor. Well, Ince is just out in the middle of the front lawn just taking a shit.
You don't give a fuck.
And it's funny because the Baron just kind of ignores it, covers it up with his cane, covers the poo with his cane, and he notices Hans watching the whole thing from behind a tree because Hans is out there spying on his daughter.
Yeah.
And the Baron looks at Hans and kind of makes a little sniff face like, ooh, this guy did a duty.
But then also I was like, is he trying to sleep with Hans as well? Or is he like, I read his interaction with that as like could be queer coded. But as the movie goes on, I was like, I think the Baron is just, he has a very different MO and it does not involve the flesh.
No.
Like he's an aesthetic. He's like, he lives for music and art and he loves his beautiful little daughter. He really does. But he here for the things of this world.
I think also by extension, his understanding of aesthetics lead him to judge Hans the way you might judge a work of art, in that you have a sense of its quality, its intention, its reliability. Yes. And I think he understands deep down, even if he's not acknowledging it openly, I think he understands deep down, this boy likes my daughter, and I should see if I trust him or not. But in the same way that the villagers can't bring themselves to understand love on a surface level, I don't think he can. And then the villagers are all like down below in the world of like failed capitalism and trading and robbing Peter to pay Paul. And he's up in the world of aesthetes, right? He understands
he's
things
like,
only by beauty.
I just want to sit at my piano forte.
Yes. Yes. But I think because later he hires Hans to be the overseer.
Oh, yes. Like, we're going to fold this handsome young lad into our world.
He also literally closes his eyes as Hans sneaks into the house to go spy on his daughter. So I think there is this like inherent trust. Like, I would say as a father, I think it's ill-advised, but that was my read on it.
I read it as he is so wrapped up in his piano, like he doesn't even, he's so into this thing that like everybody else is like magic and, fighting over, scrabbling over bread. And he is so into the art that he doesn't even know what the fuck is going on around him. Hence,
I think you're right.
Every single piece of thing is being stolen out from under them. His underwear, gone.
Yep.
Their food, gone.
I think you're right.
Gone.
I think my interpretation is that everything he's doing is operating well below the surface of his consciousness. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think he closes his eyes because, as you said, he's just so in his world of playing his piano forte.
But there's a part of him that knows.
But there's a part of him that knows. He knows they're stealing from him, and it's only kind of later in the movie when he actually lays eyes directly on Ince robbing him.
And he does nothing about it.
He just gets a disgusted... Yeah, he gets a disgusted look on his face, like he's just seen bad art.
Yeah.
Like he just heard a song he doesn't like.
Right. He doesn't do anything about it. He's just like, ugh, peasants. Uncouth. Oh, shit, that was me. That was mine? I should be master of the house?
So in this house, we have Louisa and we have Ince. And Ince has this conversation with Hans. When Hans walks in, seeing Ince basically stealing the undergarments, and Ince basically tells Hans, hey, listen, this is Estonia. I mean, it could be his, but it's on Estonian land. I'm Estonian. He is not. Anything that is on Estonian land belongs to Estonians. Remember the story of our king Limbitu or whatever his name was and tells the story. And then Hans says, well, hey, Ince, can you sneak me into the Baroness's room at night? By the same logic, as a descendant of Limbitu, and she is on Estonian land, I am Estonian, thus she belongs to me.
I have access to that shit.
This brings up, I think, a question, and I'm jumping ahead, but I think this movie is so disjointed. It's all chronological, but and I think it's important because this conversation ties in later to a scene where I don't even know who this guy is, if this is Lena's brother or just some other villager. There is a rape scene where he assaults Louisa, and it is in terms of its placement in the film, it reminds me of the restaurant scene in the movie Fargo, where it just feels so out of place. And I know it's important, but it's hard to wrap my head around why it's there. And unlike the restaurant scene in Fargo, which is unnerving, the rape scene in this is disturbing. Yeah.
I hear that. I hear that. I think it is by the time we get to that, so we're watching like two love stories, right? It's the true love story and the like base love story. Mm-hmm. You know, because I think I'm just going to say it's Lena's brother. Sure, why not? Like he sleeps at their house. They kind of, it seems family. I mean, he sleeps on a cow. He uses the cow for a pillow.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But his whole thing is that he has a crush on Luis. Yeah. And he, again, it's like in the same way Lena's going to go to the witch and be like, can you make a love potion? Can you, I want him to, is there a way we can make him forget her and love me? And she's like, no. But we can kill her. But this guy's like, hey, could you make me a love potion? Because this girl that I can't talk to, I just want, and the witch is like, eat shit.
Yeah, she's like, make it out of armpit hair, sweat, and your own feces, then she'll fall in love with you.
And if you get her to eat that. But like, it's I don't know. I think this movie really does have something to say about love. About the many facets, you know, the kind of love makes fools of all of us. It's just how you handle it.
Yeah.
How deep is your love, as the poet says.
Yeah. Well,
and this guy, he has an appetite. It's not love. It's in the same way that he eats that bar of soap that isn't a bar of soap, that's a scallop. But I thought it was a bar of soap for just a second.
Oh, I thought that was a fancy bar of soap too. That's a scallop. Right?
It's in a scallop shell. And I was like, oh, look, soap. He's going to steal soap. Oh my God, he's going to get clean. Nope, he's eating that. I'm pretty sure that's scallop.
Oh.
But I was like, why the fuck is this man eating soap? Anyway.
I thought it was him eating soap because I thought it was a little bit like the solution for you is right here, your unrequited love. What if you looked nice the way in which Lena wants to look nice for the man she loves? What if you decided, what if I cleaned myself? But he doesn't understand even how to clean himself, so he eats it.
I mean, it could be soap. Listen, I went with, I was like, I'm going to assume that's a scallop. And he's not just eating soap. And it kind of goes, and as we learn that story, like he's an appetite. He's not in it for love. He just wants to fuck. And then when he gets rejected / humiliated, it shows how, depraved he is.
Yeah, it definitely has the triggered young man mass shooter sort of energy, right? Like the idea of like
I told her she was, awesome at writing. Why isn't she putting out, you know?
Yeah. When he does present his love bread, which is filled with his own shit to Louisa, and she and Ents are like, get the fuck out of here. Like she stabs him in the shoulder with a fork and literally kicks him out of the house. And outside you see him take a communion wafer, spit on it, put it in his gun, and he shoots the crucifix off of the church.
Is that what he does?
Yes.
Because that shoots happens
Jesus
so fast.
With the body of Jesus. It's a weird edit, but watching it this time, I'm like, oh, you can see it in the background. He turns, fires at it. When he turns back to the camera, the original shot, the Jesus is not there anymore.
Okay. So it's kind of like I renounce thee.
And I shot Jesus with Jesus.
And then I realized that he was there with me the whole time. And the footsteps were mine. And he was carrying me as I shot him with himself.
It's almost like there's a sense of balance in the world. And going back to the diner scene in Fargo, what that moment does for me, like just in my gut, is it destabilizes my sense of Frances McDormand's control of the situation, because everything that's out of her control is classic police procedural. She's going to figure it out. But this moment sets her so on her heels.
This is when she's out to dinner with the guy that she went to high school with, and he's like, and he hits on her, and she's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, no, why don't you sit over there?
You're like, I'm still a woman in a man's world, kind of.
Yeah, and it reminds you of that. And then this scene when I guess this is Lena's brother, when he runs back in, it's almost, I can't tell if it's a dream or because the camera shifts to this kind of fisheye view.
I know. It's the only time it's used, this sort of steady cam.
Yeah.
POV.
Yeah.
You just see his hands, which I love. Listen, this movie is nothing if not creative as fuck in its camera work and cinematography.
But yeah, it's one of the few moments where you really feel it takes away from the lightness of the fairy tale-ness of this whole movie, and it puts it into the real world terror of what goes on. Yeah. And anyways, that's all. I just wanted to talk about that because I think it's a big decision to leave that in the film, and they do, and it clearly has some meaning, but it is notably disturbing. So there's the Baron, but let's talk about the Baroness.
The Baroness is gorgeous, but she has a problem.
Yeah.
In that she sleepwalks.
She's a 10, but she likes to sleepwalk off of roofs.
Yep, that's it. Especially around the full moon. I gotta say, this... So, like, Hans is in her room, spying, being all naughty, spying on her. And the Baroness starts sleepwalking. This shot of her in the dress with her hair backlit in this white light. Like, she looks like she's covered in feathers. It's all just lighting.
Yeah.
It's all lighting. And it is fucking stunning.
So beautiful. And the repetition of it, we see it several times. Also, the way in which people just suddenly appear. Because I think there's 3 iterations of her doing her roof walk. And the first is the first night. Her. Yeah, and it's Hans following her out to the roof and just watching. But as she starts to step off, the Baron is suddenly there.
Oh, my daughter, you must be careful. It is your sickness. And she's like, oh, yeah, I should probably do something about that.
Father, someone was here. Someone was just here.
Yeah.
And he says, no one is here.
And then Hans is like still there. The next night it's Hans, right?
No, the next night
it's Lena.
So Lena goes to see Minna, the town witch.
Love her.
Love her whole vibe. Minna. And Minna's like, oh yeah, well, yeah, if you love this boy, I mean, the only thing I can think of, there's not really like a love potion.
Yeah.
You can't make somebody love you. But you can certainly kill the person they love, and then maybe they'll love you as a good second option.
Yeah. She's like, yeah, so here, take this arrow.
Throw
it at her, and it'll aim right at her head.
And it'll blow. She basically says it'll split her head. It'll split her skull, and her brains will pour out. It's so graphic the way she describes it. And so that next night, Lena is standing watch at the manor holding this arrow, and she sees her up on the roof. And upon realizing, I don't want to kill this woman. I don't want to make Hans sad. And also, this poor woman is about to walk off.
Like she may be rich and pretty, but she has problems that I didn't know you could have. What? Empathy?
And the way she appears behind the Baroness and then holds her back. And the way the Baroness turns her head and leans into her. Again, this Baroness is making sexy choices, this actor.
Yeah. Yes. It's very sensual. Everything in this movie is very sensual, not necessarily sexual. Like, we barely see people kiss.
Yeah.
And when they do, they have a veil over their face, you know?
Yeah.
It is more about the senses. And especially when your day-to-day life is literally like eating roots and digging up tree stumps and, like the fact that you still find the living world, your 5 senses, beautiful and glorious is a feat.
Okay. The plague has arrived.
I fucking love this shit.
I am so here for this fucking plague. It's just so good.
This movie really did remind. Did you ever read it was like the Green Fairy storybook, the Blue Fairy storybook? They were collections of mostly European, but I think there was some world mythology, and they were kind of grouped by color.
Oh, interesting.
And they were the best reading for nerdy fantasy children like me. But you get this sense of like this movie, it has a plot. It has a linear, we have a main character, we have a protagonist, all that. But it has this feeling of these cute little asides that's like a different chapter of a fairy book. Like you're getting a different fairy tale.
Yeah.
It just happens to take place in the same village.
Yeah.
Much in the same way that like, like Fiddler on the Roof is based on different stories by the same author. That they just kind of like, all right, let's make a plot out of this.
Yeah. This movie reminded me a little bit of, if y'all are familiar with the novelist Olga Tokarczuk, who's a Polish writer, contemporary Polish writer. But there's an element of small town village, a little bit of like ghost surreal, sort of magical realism. Everything is slightly absurdly comical and very dark. Anyways, it just reminded me a little bit of her writing. So this plague arrives, and it is a beautiful woman, all white face and hair in the river, like just pale white. And
just half hiding behind a tree.
And she says, across the river to the man, she's like, hey, will you help me cross the river and I will reward you with a kiss? And he does, and he carries her across the river. And on the other side, he says, what about my kiss? And she says, okay. And she gives him a big kiss. And as she pulls away, his body turns and we see his face is like black, charred black. And he drops to the ground.
Falls down dead.
And becomes...
And then she turns into a goat.
And she turns into a white goat. And he turns into a dead bird.
Yes.
And
the plague is here.
Sanders finds the bird and was like, you guys, the plague's here.
Yeah.
Cecil, how would you avoid the plague?
Ooh, I mean,
mask up, stay indoors,
wash your hands,
quarantine, wash up.
I mean, at this point, I would probably fleas. Think that the biting, because we're that would be maybe stop using a cow as a pillow. That's my advice to you.
You're probably the type of person who would take a vaccine. Because you haven't done the research like I have, and I have done the research, and I have found that if you just wear your pants on your head, you can't get sick because the plague will think you have two asses, and it will leave you alone. See, I watched a documentary about that called November.
You did? Yeah. Was that documentary on YouTube?
No, it was on Canopy and various other sites. But yeah, if you wear your pants over your head and lie down in the barn, the plague enters as a goat. It won't be able to figure out who's who.
Who's what. They're like, I don't even know what I'm looking at.
Just butts everywhere. Guess I'm out of here, and no one gets the plague.
And I love how everybody's like, yeah, we get the baby, put the baby's pants, the late men, women, children, everybody. I also love this moment of like Lena and Hans as... Because we know what their deal is, but it's like, look, they still have to kind of live next to each other.
Yeah.
And we just see Lena. She just wants to, like, touch his hand.
Yeah.
And he's kind of okay with it, but he's also in a daze. Plague Goat shows up, gets a little confused, and wanders off. And they're like, okay, now it's time for the post-plague orgy. They're like, no.
Yeah, they're all in a pile, like, touching each other softly.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
No, I actually, last year I read the Hermann Hesse book, Narcissus and Goldemund.
Okay.
And which takes place in Europe there's a whole section about the plague years. And apparently, if you survive the plague, there was a lot of orgies going on.
Wow, okay.
It was either like, live by yourself in the woods. Like, it was 1, die. 2, live by yourself in the woods. Or 3, it was this like, you just saw so much death that you spent your waking hours drinking and feasting and fucking like it's your last night on earth.
Yeah, because it could, that it could have been.
It's very Mask of the Red Death kind of, but yeah. Mm-hmm. So I think there is a precedence to this. Like, we lived. But it's everybody.
Yeah.
Young, old, poor, like everyone's just like, oh yeah, feel our bot. Oh, no, stop. Do you think the plague is just going to fuck off forever? No. We are going on a village-wide scavenger hunt.
Uh-huh.
If you see something that looks unusual, if you see something, say something. Bring it to me. And this is where I got confused as to like Lena's dad versus Hans's dad. It makes much more sense now thinking that it's Hans. It's Sonder.
Yeah.
He's like, so like, what is this? That's a fucking nail. You bumpkin. Get out of here. What is this? That's nothing at all, you silly man. But we see the person with nothing at all. He takes he found a gold coin.
Uh-huh.
Puts it in his mouth.
Yeah, he wants to hide it because he knows that whatever is strange will be taken from him and destroyed. Yes. And he cannot part with the gold. Hungry.
He's like, that's nothing. You don't even have anything in your hands. And then I love that Lena brings her, and it's the dead bird that the guy turned into. So like Lena is very tapped into the magical world.
Yes.
Like she doesn't know what it is. And he's like, oh, that's just a bird.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Well, the very next beat, we see that man who is hiding that gold coin. And he is...
Charface.
He is dead of the plague. And then out from his mouth tumbles this coin, hits the ground, and turns into a black pig.
Yeah. This pig is vocal.
This pig is real vocal.
They're like, oh no, the plague is here in the barn with us. Get a Bible.
I fucking love. Oh,
everything's a bargain. Everything's can you outsmart? Like it really is. It's fairy tale shit where it's like, okay, listen. I know you're the plague, and I know you have a job to do. And who am I? I'm just a peasant. But if you just spare one boy and one girl and kind of drags Lena and Hans forward, forces their hands together. If you just spare our young boy and our young girl, then our village will live on after us.
You can have the rest of us. Yeah.
We're all cool with that. And everybody else is going, wait, what? Huh? Say what now? But in the end, they're like, well, I guess it's better than nothing. So we get a Bible. We make that pig swear in a Bible.
That pig is just wah, 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 wah.
I love it.
Bring it back to Peanuts, very Charlie Brown's parents.
Yes. Yeah.
What I found so fascinating about this scene that I really, really loved is Hans's character, the choice that he makes here is so complex. And because he doesn't want that. He doesn't want the village to die and him to have to start a new village with this girl because he wants the Baroness. He has bigger dreams and all that. And so he yanks his hand away from her, sidles his way through the crowd to the back, finds the harvesting scythe. And as this pig is swearing on the Bible, we're all agreeing. He's like, fuck it. No. Whoop. Pig dead.
Kills
death, and in slow motion, everyone is celebrating behind Lena, and you just see the look of just gut wrench.
She's never gonna get this guy to fall for her.
No, and he's never gonna leave her, and he even dances past because they're all celebrating that we killed the plague.
Yeah,
and he leans in and kisses her, but it's a kiss of joy, but it's the kiss you would give your neighbor, right? Like, it has nothing to do with any of that. And so even a kiss feels horrible to her.
This is also some of the most gorgeous cinematography. Like where it's her face and there's like, she's backlit. And so when people kind of pass in front of the light, we can see her face and then she just goes dark for a bit and then it's light and dark. And there's like the particles of hay and dust in the air. Oh, amazing. And everybody's like showing their ass and dancing around in the snow. And it's real special.
I'm really trying not to do what I always do, which is to bring up Bertolt Brecht.
Oh, no.
But this
is too late.
It's too late.
You already mentioned him in your intro.
I mentioned him in the intro, but this scene, just my heart was aflutter. My little Brechtian heart was aflutter at the notion of just the pure joy expressed by the villagers. Mm-hmm. And you don't get to watch it because you have to watch her sadness. Like it's that alienation is so good. That Verfremdung effect is so strong. Yeah. And I loved it. Okay. We fucking killed the plague. It's so great. It's so lovely.
Let's see. Hans is the overseer of by now.
Yeah, and he's already tried to get people to like do work.
He's not a very good one.
No, nobody's really listening to him at all. Nobody really listens to
him. And Lena's like, dude, what are you doing? Oh man, everybody, ACAB. No.
Yep.
But she's like kind of lost in smoke. Like it's very chaotic. You also realize kind of what these, you get a better idea of like why these villagers have the krats, like what their daily life is like.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, move this stump, clear this for it. Like it is an inverse of Chekhov. Yeah. We're not chilling in the parlor.
No,
we're chilling out there with the servants who are like, clear that cherry orchard.
But where it's
really, do it.
But where it's similar to Chekhov is people's inability to take action in their own lives. Their inability to do anything to affect the outcome of anything else. That they are so swept away by their own inertia, right?
Yes, because of society's pressures, whether it be up here in the manor house or down here in the dank little log cabins, it's people are still pressured by internal psychology.
This is where Hans has made up his mind. I have got to get this woman to fall in love with me. And he's so young, he's so dumb, and he goes to the devil. He tries to trick the devil with the currents to get a krat, and the devil is like, nope, sorry, dude. And the devil draws his blood from his neck, takes the blood. He's like, great, you got a krat now. And what he chose as his krat was a snowman. He built a snowman.
This is hands down my favorite character in this film.
The snowman.
It's fucking snowman. I mean, because part of me, like, we just see him out there literally just build, like, I was like, do you want to build a snowman?
Yeah.
Okay, what are we doing here? But when this snowman starts to talk.
God, this voice.
Because I think the thing that this movie is not quickly paced, but the thing that this movie needed in its final act was a bit of poetry.
Yeah.
Everything is so like that pig cunt couldn't fucking everything is so base.
Wretched, yeah.
Wretched. And then all of a sudden, this krat, you have made me out of water. I have been rain. I have had ships dance on me as the ocean. I have been in a fountain in the cities. Like, this is...
I am the canals of Venice.
The poet in me is like, this is the coolest shit I have. And it's also this beautiful voiceover as opposed to these sort of like, give me work.
Yeah.
No, he made his out of snow. And it is water flows, man. Water comes and goes. And his dad is like, you're so dumb. You're such a dumb dummy. But then the dad also kind of starts listening like, oh shit. Wait, stories are kind of dope.
The snowman asks Hans, the snowman said, he says, carry me.
That's it.
He
makes the krat to be like, bring me my love. And he's like, oh, sorry, dude.
I can't carry people. That's just not what krats do. And also, you made me out of snow. I'm sorry, you might have wasted your soul on me. But the snow krat says, is she enchanting, this woman you love? And he clearly doesn't know what enchanting means. And he says, well, no, she's pretty. And this oration from the snow krat about what enchanting is, like the way it's love poetry. It's just the way a person makes you feel by their very essence, by their very presence.
It's like Song of Solomon poetry of Rumi. Is Rumi, right? Is that the poet? Is that oh no. This is me being a dumb.
I only know Songs of Solomon from the Bible, and then I know
Rumi, mystic and poet. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking of. Yes. Like it's like when a bird, like beautiful bird, has flown into this terrible, terrible room, and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah. I want to go back to what you were saying about the Baron earlier, about him as an aesthetic, like only able to really see the world through. He's just so high up the level of, he doesn't have to ever worry about money, so he can just kind of see the world as art.
Yeah.
But maybe not really even understand art as the connective thread between the soul and the body. That the art is the connective tissue between all people. It is the stories that make us fall in love with each other. These are the stories that help us understand each other. And it's in this moment that Hans is the first to really understand it outside of Lena. You know, Lena has come to it through inner self, maybe not art. But Hans is finally understanding it through art itself. And I find that thought so beautiful, because one of the things that the snowman tells this long poem, and Hans says, I'm going to remember this poem, and when I see my love, I will tell her this poem. And the Krat says, you can do that, but it's more endearing if you write your own. And he says,
he writes his poetry. He's like, I don't know how to write poetry. They're like, imagine your love. And flow, man.
Yeah.
He's like, oh God. He's like puts his head in a tree, and he conjures up the mental image of her. He's like, your breath is like the breath of a baby cow. And the Krat is like, yeah, brother. She's going to love this shit. We're like, but that's true, isn't it? Isn't that what it's the fool? Like, even the dumbest of us, if you put forth a little effort, if you put down ChatGPT for just 1 second, put some time and effort, write a fucking poem yourself, it might suck. But if it comes from the heart, it is beautiful.
Because it's vulnerable, because it is who you are.
It is, and it is yours for your love.
Yeah.
Listen, How May I Love Thee, Let Me Count the Ways is a great poem.
Yeah.
But it's not your poem. No. It wasn't written for you.
No, it was written for Bob Browning. Yeah. So the Snowkrat tells Hans the story of this couple on a Venetian gondola.
This, Jeffrey, I was shook. Okay, I'm already
beside
shook
myself.
Right? Because
the visuals here.
He's like, so it's Hans. No, let's see if I can get this right. It is a winter lake. But it's not winter. Because I'm like, wait, what the fuck is going on?
And it's not Venice either.
It's not Venice either. No. It is blanched. It is like, it actually looks like it was taken in high summer and they just turned all the green white. Which I did read something that washed. That this, actually there was some like infrared photography used for this film.
Of course.
So just everything appears white. And it's this beautiful, it's almost like a idyllic Japanese garden kind of setting with like the little house on the hill, like a little hermitage up there. And then it kind of pans down. So you're looking down into the water and it's what looks like the reflection of trees with snow. And you realize it's Hans looking up into the sky, imagining, what does Venice look like? He doesn't fucking know what Venice looks like.
No.
So he's seeing the story being told by the Snowkrat. His dad wanders up and he's like, what the fuck? You made a... Oh, wait. Oh, I can kind of see it too.
Yeah. It's interesting though, because in the story, it's about this young couple, wealthy couple, and the man says, I have to go away, but I will give you my young love.
We will never see each other again.
We'll never see each other again, but I want to give you my ring.
Remember me always.
You. And Sander, Hans's father, is seeing the story, hearing the story. He's like, wait, if he's going away, don't give her the ring. Just...
I know, right?
Why would you leave a ring for her? Why would you do that?
Yeah.
But then when he sees the next part of the story, because the young woman says, well, if I can't have you, I don't want your ring. I can't have this. And I want you only. And so she drops his ring in the river, and then they embrace. And because of the way that the imagined story is above them, as you just described, the ring is quite literally somewhere in the snow of this Estonian village. And Sander is like, oh, well, maybe that ring is still here somewhere.
So he starts digging around in the snow. I mean, you've seen Harold and Maude, right?
Yes.
So I immediately thought of Harold and Maude. I mean, there's a scene where he gives her a ring and she tosses it into the lake and she knows, now I'll always remember where it is.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. Man, it's been years since I have seen that movie.
It's that thing of like, love is not about the trinket. It's about the feeling that I don't need a thing. It's not about the thing.
Yeah.
It's about this. It's about us. We will always have this special place.
Yeah.
I know what it is now. I can never lose this lake. Your ring is my ring is in this lake.
We all have that dream trip we've been wishing we could go on, but too often life, or usually price, gets in the way. That's why Priceline is here to help you turn your dream trip into reality. With up to 60% off hotels and up to 50% off flights, you can book everything you need for your next adventure. Don't just dream about that next trip. Book it with Priceline. Download the Priceline app or visit Priceline.com and book your next trip today.
Go to your happy price, Priceline.
Just the tips.
Just the tips?
Stops those split ends, lickety-split. Look at those ends, they are amending.
Now that's what I call a happy ending.
Red Kit ABC, hair bandage bomb.
Okay, so we're going to go back to Lena. And Rock has brought Endel over to be like, all right, well, it's getting near Christmas time, so you guys better consummate this thing. And he mounts her, and she is fighting
grunting
him
like
off,
a pig.
And he is grunting like the plague pig from earlier. He sounds just like
exact same sound. Yep.
And Lena is losing her fucking mind, of course. Yep. And it is Rock who comes over and just is like, okay, never mind. And she fucking stares daggers through him. Yeah. We're like, we're done, my dude.
Yeah.
The snowcrat is melting. And I love what he tells Hans. He says, listen, you don't ever have to get married. You can just be in love. And you can write poetry about it, which is the snowcrat's experience. The experience of water is it can't get married. It can't be in. It can't have a love, but it can write poetry about the love. Yeah. And I love that it gives him its experience in life. And this is where Mina, the town witch.
This is my second favorite scene. Is Lena and the witch are on the hillside. Mm-hmm. And Lena's just going through it. She's like, hey, did you ever kill that girl? I couldn't. I just couldn't. And it's not because she probably doesn't want to be a murderer is part of it. But it really is. She's like, if I kill her, it'll make Hans sad. And I can't bear to have Hans sad. And I love this. The witch is like, yeah, you're going through it. You know, when you see me, you see a hag. But once upon a time, I was a young girl waiting for a gentleman to come and crawl into my hayloft. It's so beautiful, this scene between these two women, just like on this natural hillside. And the woman who plays the witch is, like all the faces of the villagers is lined and cracked and anything but face-tuned, the opposite of that. And yet there's a real connection between these two women in the scene.
Yeah. There's an understanding from Minna that I can't tell if she's just learning it, as it seems like nobody sort of knows what love is or real connection is in this movie, or if she's remembering it, that it's a thing that you only really have when you're young and that you lose as you age, as time and life wither you
beats
away.
It out of you.
Yeah. But when Lena says, he would have died of sadness if I had killed his love. She said, died of sadness. Like,
does anybody really do that?
Yeah, like what a weird dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, but it sits with her because later she goes to talk to Sander, and we learn that Sander was that love.
She was the guy.
And Sander never requited that love, and he married someone else who was Hans's mother.
My favorite scene, favorite part of the scene is the crab.
Yes,
like fucking Sebastian the crab in Lobster,
Little
whatever the fuck
Mermaid?
he is. In Little Mermaid, just like lighting the candles, closing the, giving them an intimate moment together.
I love it so much.
Goodbye. Let these two old lovers reminisce about the young days all by themselves.
It's so funny, and it's so beautiful at the same time when this sort of connection that she makes. You know, she's telling him about Lena, saying she's so lovesick. And he is too, but for the wrong, we have to do something because
nothing like
love will destroy them. And he says, why would something as silly as love destroy anyone? And she says, I felt pretty rough when you went off with your wife. And he pauses and he says, Minna, I caused you pain back in the day. And she says, I did the same to you. Let's not bear a grudge. It's all in the past. And then they just kind of like hand on hand. It's really beautiful. It's a really beautiful moment of grace. Sander has a plan. Okay, what if we got you two together? What if we kind of made you look like, dressed you like the Baroness?
Because Hans he's not satisfied with just viewing from afar. That's getting a little creepy.
Yeah.
Lena just wants to express anything to Hans outside of I'm your next door neighbor who thinks you're cute. We're going to do it. We're going to pull a Cyrano de Bergerac, Jeffrey.
Yep. And they said, do you have a dress as nice as something the Baroness might wear? And she's like, well, Louisa got one and I got a brooch. And she basically kicks the shit out of her father.
Yeah.
Steals that silver brooch that we saw from the beginning. Gets that dress. Gets that beautiful veil.
Yeah.
And gets some lipstick.
Not before we get a little intro. I love the witch is like the busiest.
Oh, yeah.
Because like while Lena's there, and Lena's like, she's having it. She's with her fairy godmother, witchy, they're great. So that's when we have John show up being like, I want this girl to love me. And they're like, oh, Jesus, okay, get out of here. Also, we have the
church lady.
The church lady. She's like, listen, I fucked up. I was carving gold off the cross, which I do all the time. I'm not mad about that. But the priest caught me doing that, and now he's real pissed. So can we just make him dumb? Because if we kill him, they'll just send another priest, and then, he might be worse than this one. I just want to make him like an idiot. And the witch is like, yeah, totally. You got his hair? I got some of his hair. Into the millstone, grind it, and you just see the priest go, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Later at the funeral, when he's supposed to be tossing dirt onto the coffin, he's just putting it in his mouth.
He's just eating dirt, hugging a tree. She's leading him. Oh, he's got a chicken wing for a cross.
It's so fucking
She's leading him by a rope.
God damn it.
Amazing. That is just a tiny aside. The busiest day ever at the witch's cottage.
This scene mirrors a bride getting dressed. Right? They're putting the dress on the bride and doing all the pins and making sure everything looks right.
She's putting on she puts on makeup. She puts on lipstick.
But Lena is being put in a black dress with a black veil, which is really stunning. But the church lady is telling the two of them, Mina and Lena, this story. She said, the thing about the gold is that I'd go spend it at the bar and I know it would come back to me. That's why the gold is so great. And they're like, wait, why would the gold come back to you?
Boomerang gold.
And she said because it's Jesus's gold and it will return to me. And Minna says, who told you that?
And Lena's like, do you think it's going to walk to you?
Yeah. Amina says, who told you that? And she says, Latvian. And she says, well, Latvians have an ass for a mouth and only shit comes out of it, which I want on a t-shirt.
Yes. No offense to our Latvian friends out there.
I don't know anything about Latvia, but I thought that was a funny line.
Again, it's back to this thing of like, what is superstition? What is, like, when does it go from like, yes, find this dead bird that used to be a person, put that will end the plague, put this pig, make this pig swear in a Bible that makes sense. And you're like, you thought Jesus Gold would boomerang? Like, why does the body of Christ kill in one shot and Jesus Gold does not boomerang back into your pocket?
Yeah, why not? Why wouldn't it?
They're like, that's so dumb. You're a dummy. But, good Lord. Okay, get over here, girl. We'll fix you out.
Okay, so now she has this meeting with Hans. He wants to touch her face and lift her veil, and she won't let him.
They say nothing. And this is also where, like, the November-ness of the title comes into it, is like, it's that sort of like snow sleet season. Mm-hmm. Like sometimes it's sunny, sometimes it's snowy, and they just kneel and look at each other in the rain for a whole goddamn day.
And eventually he kisses her through the veil. I forget what movie we were watching, but we talked about this before. Like,
yes.
Was it Cemetery Man?
Yes,
Cemetery Man.
Because the Cemetery Man is a riff on the Magritte painting of the two people with the sort of pillow cases wrapped around their head kissing. Yep.
Yeah, that's very sexy when you kiss through cloth. It's very hot. And but they have this
Depends on the cloth. I will say it depends on the cloth.
Definitely depends on the cloth, yes. Yeah.
You're like, hey,
it's just like some dish towel.
Yeah, that's it.
But she gets up and walks away elated. Like she just...
God, the look on her face, she pulls off the thing and she is literally walking on sunshine, this girl.
And this broke my heart. The melting face of the snow krat.
Face. It's
it's melting in the river. And its last words to Hans is, "That girl loves you."
Yeah.
It's just like,
it's like
breaking my fucking heart.
I know, because Hans doesn't know what girl it is, but that is like, the krat is like, I know real love when I see it.
Yeah.
And wait, in that little puddle left behind, Hans finds the ring of true love, grabs his best donkey Uber.
Yep. He calls City Donk.
It's called City Donk.
And it's this donkey pulling like a little long black trailer.
It's like a hay cart.
Yeah, but it looks very much like a coffin because it is.
Yeah.
And he is riding into town because he's going to take the ring to the Baroness because all I needed this whole time was the ring to show her my love. And meanwhile, boom, here's Evil Father Christmas. Here's Clown Christmas pops up behind him. And he's like, your krat's dead? So are you? Bill's due. Crack. Snaps his neck. He dead.
Because, and it's so funny because Lena's walking and she hears the sleigh bells of the donkey cart coming. And you're like, oh no, are they going to be found out? Is it Hans is going to realize it was her all along? No, he is dead. And she like runs after his dead body, but it just continues on.
Meanwhile, the night before, we saw the Baroness's third visit to the roof, and no one was there to stop her.
No one was there.
So, because
Hans wasn't there, Hans could have been there to catch her on the third night.
Lena wasn't there, no telling what the Baron was up to, and this beautiful shot on the road of the black rustic little hay ride coffin that Hans is
Riderless.
in, crossing the beautiful white, like Cinderella carriage pulled by like four white horses,
white roses, glass coffin deal.
Yes, crossing on the road. So gorgeous. Also, there's the preparation of Hans's body. So Sander is there with his krat, and the krat is helping to prepare his body for burial, which is so interesting because one of the krat's arms is basically like a a tiller, like the 3-pronged
the 3-prong
garden implement.
claw.
But it's like clawing into his back to turn him around because he's a dead body. It doesn't matter anymore.
But he's also cleaning him.
He's also cleaning
him. The only
him.
time you get washed as a peasant is when you're dead.
This discussion between Sander and the Krat is really interesting.
I don't remember this as well.
So the Krat is arguing with him because the Krat is basically like, he's like, you humans, you trick the plague, you make deals with the devil, you steal from each other, you do all of this, but when you do all of that, you don't ever want to pay with your soul as promised. Like you're like, it's not fair that this kid said he traded his soul. Like, you buy the thing, you pay the bill. Yeah. Why don't you? And Sander just says, but I have no soul.
And then he runs off into the hills.
Yeah.
And then I was confused, and he starts yelling at cows. And I was confused if that was him yelling at the cows or the devil yelling at the cows, because he's kind of behaving like the devil at the crossroads.
And I think this is that understanding, too, of what the Krat is telling him is kind of similar to what the Snow Krat was telling his son, which is just, hey, what you've lost here is humanity. What you have is existence. You have actions, you have responsibilities, you have duties, you have things to buy, things to eat, things to shit, things to live and die, but like you're not actually being human. Yeah. And the human is the connection between your body and your soul. Yeah. And when it's kind of repeated or said aloud to him, I think it makes him a little bit insane.
Yeah.
It's a little bit Lovecraftian. I saw the beast so terrifying that I went mad.
I realized my entire life was a lie and I've lost my son. I'm just going to go scream at the cows in a field for a while.
Because Sander is the most responsible person in this whole village. Like, he's the one that you're like, if I'm going to put someone in charge of this village, that's the guy I'm going to go to.
Mr.
However,
Pants on Head? Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he has the solutions for things. He knows, he always has a plan, and the plans work. So he's very effective. And unlike Rock, he has an effective Krat, right? Like the Krat works for him. The Krat communicates with him. He is so good at existing, Sander is, but he is not good at love. Not great at living because everything is so practical to him.
Yeah.
And he's not really connected. And I think it's in this moment talking to the Krat where he's like, I have no soul. And he hears himself say it. And he's like, I have no son.
Like, I had a love when I was young that I kind of tossed aside. I had a son that I just never really paid any attention to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. That is really interesting.
So we get to the funeral. And while the comedy of this priest
my God, his
eating
church
the
lady.
dirt instead of throwing it on the coffin, we see Lena still in the dress that she wore, the Baroness's dress, leaning against the tree.
She can't even walk. She's like, she's out of here. She's like, this is dumb. I'm done with all this.
And she just walks straight into the river and just drowns.
Virginia Woolfs herself.
This shot is so beautiful. She goes into the river. She dives into the river because she plunges, and the dress comes off as she plunges into the water. So you see her nude drifting, but then when she, this wide shot, but then as she gets down, she has landed in her own, kind of like neutral, like neutral peasant garb as she would dress. And floating,
she keeps going down. It's very like a descent into the underworld. And there's Hans. And they kiss.
Both of them with their eyes closed, which I found really interesting. And they kiss, and he smiles, and then they both drift apart. And then we see on the Coda on the shore of the river, we see the beggar couple from the village. Mm-hmm. They're out by this river, and they're like, "Hey, I found a gold piece. I found another.
Oh, shit. It's
there's
the
gold
buried
necklaces.
treasure.
There's gold pieces. Holy shit." And he wanders further out because he sees something, and he pulls up the dead body of Lena wearing all white.
They drag her to shore, and it's this like infrared white.
she comes across looking porcelain or marble almost. Yeah.
And it's like there's gold coins all around her head. And you just see the hands like grabbing at the gold. And the peasant lady, she's like, okay, listen, you deserve this gold necklace for your wedding night in death.
It's a nice dowry for a virgin bride. And Lena's corpse just starts talking and says, without moving anything else, just the lips move. And she says, oh, yes, that's just what a virgin bride dreams of. They also mentioned this beggar couple. They were like, we found Rock's buried treasure. So here we see Lena, the granddaughter of the man Rock who buried this treasure and never wanted anyone to find it. But when she dies, the treasure opens up.
Appears.
It turns out the treasure was friends we met along the way.
It was the love we made all along.
Sloot.
No, Lop.
Lop. Yeah, that's right. We're not Swedish here.
That's like one country over.
Lop. Shall we rate this film, Cecil?
Yes, let's.
All right. If you are horror movie squeamish, how approachable is November? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not at all approachable and 10 being very approachable. I mean, I'm going to give November like 9 out of 10 gold coins in a lake. I would say the only thing that makes this disturbing to watch is the two, and for me, like I think one in particular, the way it's shot, sexual assault scenes are really tough. But there's really no significant like blood. There's no real gore. The movie is disgusting. When that guy eats his own shit bread, like the hairs he's pulling out of his chocolate. It's just like you can taste that. It's gross. This movie, as you said, is very sensual, and I think it does a great job of like making you feel the different textures of what the movie is evoking. But, it's not, this movie is far from scary. It is folk horror. It is folk stories. It is magical realism. It's a stunningly beautiful film, and I would say very approachable for the horror squeamish. 9 out of 10 gold coins in a lake. To speak nothing of approachability, Cecil, how do you rate this as a horror film?
As a horror film, this is an interesting one because it is filled with magic and folk tales. And we see things that under other circumstances would be tried and true horror.
Werewolves,
1, 2,
ghosts,
3. Like the equation, but we see the devil, we see ghosts, but none of it is done to scare you. It's more to like tell you a story. And that's it. So do you want to be scared? This movie's probably not for you. Do you want to see some interesting Jungian like timeless folklore that maybe illuminates a little something about the human condition? Then yeah, give it a shot. And I would give it, as in the canon of horror films, I'd do like 6 out of 10 cows in the sky.
Well, let's figure out what movie we are going to watch next. You've got a scare die. I've got a style die. We will roll those up and see what movie might match those two things. So, Cecil, on your scare die, if you roll a 1, our next movie scare is clowns and or dolls. 3, evil kids. I'm sorry, 2, evil kids. 3, conspiracy. 4, psycho killer. 5, it has to have 4 plus legs. 6, alien. What's our scare?
That's a 2.
Evil kids.
And we're going to take them off. Put them on, take them off.
That's right. That was only there for 2 weeks. We're going to match up your evil kids that you rolled with the style that I roll. If we roll a 1, our next movie style is a wild card, whatever evil kid we want. If I roll a 2, it's got to have a 5 or more word long title. 3, it's got to be from the decade of the 2000s. 4, a period piece. 5, a bottle movie. Or 6, something from or featuring a horror icon. All right. I got a 4, a period piece with evil fucking kids.
Oh.
Okay, so period piece meaning it takes place in an era that it was not when it was made. Yeah. Okay, so wrote down a couple here, but we also have a Letterboxd account. We're at Random Horror 9 on Letterboxd, and you can go look up all the possible die rolls we have that given week and leave comments for movies we might be missing out on. Okay, so here's what we wrote down on ours. One of them is a bit of a cheat.
Okay.
But I put the Rob Zombie Halloween remake because the beginning is a period piece because it's about Michael Myers as a kid in the 1970s or whatever.
And you do get a little bit more in the Rob Zombie version than just like the kind of like one-shot opening kind of thing.
So like the beef of the movie is in present day when it was shot, but then you have the Mike Myers flashback stuff. There's also Blood on Satan's Claw.
I've never seen this movie. And this is another one that I might push for this one a little hard because this is one that goes in and out of availability.
Okay.
So sometimes it disappears and sometimes it is available.
Was this like a Video Nasty sort of thing? I mean, this is before that, but this is definitely...
Yeah.
This movie has some shock value to it. It's very like...
Yeah, I think so.
Witchcraft, the women and the kids are the wicked, evil sorts of monster-y people. And then I put this movie on here called Tin and Tina.
Tony and Tina's Wedding.
Tin and Tina's Wedding. It is, I believe, a Spanish film.
Oh.
And it is about, takes place in the early 80s, although it was made in 2023. It is about a couple that I believe they adopt these creepy fucking twins that look like the Jimmies.
They adopt some Jimmies
from the Bone Zone.
And their kids are like super Bible freaks.
Yeah, those
That's
kids
kind of what it
look
looks like.
Goddamn wicked. That movie looks really disturbing. So those are the ones we wrote down, but let's see what folks on Letterboxd had to say.
Okay, we got some interesting ones here. Cronenberg TA recommends Kill, Baby, Kill.
Okay.
Directed by Mario Bava. Set in 1907, a Carpathian village is haunted by the murderous ghost of a little girl, prompting a coroner and a medical student to uncover her secrets while a witch attempts to protect the villagers. And we can't get out of the village, can we? Watch Radio recommends Late Night with the Devil and says technically a possession, but, shush.
It isn't, it isn't devil-possessed child.
A good kid that gets possessed and becomes an evil kid. I'll buy that.
I think that works.
Fifth Hammer recommends Poison for the Fairies, 1986.
Mm-hmm.
In 1965, Mexico City, Flavia, a wealthy yet lonely schoolgirl, befriends Veronica, an orphan girl who has a fascination with witchcraft. Veronica concludes with Flavia that witches are real and forces her to be her assistant. The children's games gradually become more serious, and Veronica demands more from Flavia. And this one got a few seconds for it as well.
This is Carlos Taboada, who I think we did one of his other movies, which was As Black as the Night.
Yeah, this is the girls hanging out in the house, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as you said Mexico City, 1986, I was like, this one might be...
It's Taboada.
Might be a little wild. Ooh, I love this. Hal Romalro.
I like it.
I can read. Recommends Heavenly Creatures from 1994.
Of course.
The film debut of Kate Winslet and Melanie Linsky. Peter Jackson's first film of a more serious nature based on the true story of two teenage girls in 1950s New Zealand who murder one of their mothers. LGBT representation. This is one that it is like, I've thought about this, like, is this a horror film? It is about two girls that kill, but my God, the movie is on their side the whole goddamn time. So very horror adjacent. Like, there is a murder, though. And goddamn, Kate Winslet and Melanie Linsky are just out of control good in this movie.
Agreed.
Book of a Hugava recommends It Chapter 1 if you tweak creepy kids into evil kids to include dirtbag teens. And nobody writes a dirtbag teen like Stephen King.
No, that's very true.
So true. We have Volantin Spider, and it looks like Atlas Fathom are pulling for Fear Street, 2001. Late 20th century, residents of Shadyside are being turned into psycho killers by the curse of a witch. It's part of a 3-part series. You could do the 3-part experience for the complete story, but part 1 or part 2 have some great story here. Scary, murderous teenagers.
Okay.
Yeah, I think if we did this, like, part 1 would be what I would go for.
Agreed.
It doesn't stand alone per se, but it stands alone the most, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Diamond Dogs recommends The Similars from 2015. 1968, Mexico City. Waiting for a bus, a group of strangers experience a strange and terrifying phenomenon which they believe is caused by a small boy. Kind of a fun Twilight Zone homage.
This is the weird, like, doppelganger-y thing.
Yeah, we've looked this up before, and we're like, what is this movie even about?
Yep.
But listen, it might be... I love a movie that doesn't reveal all its secrets. Half Price Horror recommends You Won't Be Alone from 2022. Features a young girl turned into a shape-shifting witch. Doesn't sound bad to me, but, you know, people can be judgy. And Matty Parka recommends Climax from 2018. This is the one that Symphony was mentioning.
Oh, yeah.
French dancers in a remote, empty school building to rehearse on a wintry night. And that all-night celebration morphs into a hallucinatory nightmare when they learn their sangria is laced with LSD.
So this feels more like college-age kids rather than kids.
Yeah.
Like it feels more like 19 and 18-year-olds, which is...
Yeah. But it's very teenage angst.
Okay.
So it depends on like where we want to...
Yeah.
You know, are we looking for like kids or kids, you know?
Yeah, kind of err on the side of kids, but yeah.
And finally, Kelly Zine recommends The Plague from 2025. A socially awkward teen endures the ruthless hierarchy of a water polo camp, his anxiety spiraling into psychological turmoil over the summer. Set in 2003. More drama thriller, they say. Some scenes Some scenes border on body horror and feature the most evil kind of children of all. Average 12-year-old boys. No, not the middle school boys. I gotta say, Jeffrey, there's 2 that stand out.
Tell me.
And it's Poison for the Fairies and Blood on Satan's Claw.
Both of those sound amazing to me. There's a bunch on here I really want to see, but I think trying to steer into stuff that fits better, because there's Heavenly Creatures I really want to watch.
Maybe not scary enough, and also they're not like evil. They're just in love and they just want to live their lives. They're not creepy.
Yeah,
they're not evil. So and then Halloween definitely has a creepy fucking kid, but only for like 20 minutes.
Yep.
And then Fear Street Trilogy is fun, but it's also like a third of a thing.
Yeah, and it's not quite... It's, I guess, evil kids in that, like, you have murderer.
Yes.
And we're dealing with teenagers, so that works. But in a lot of ways, that's kind of like Scream. Yeah. Like, spoiler alert, teen killers.
It's more teens than it is creepy kids.
Yeah, and we did evil kids to kind of like open that up a little bit.
Kids. Yeah.
But I think I want to go hard into the evil.
Okay.
I don't know much about Poison for the Fairies. Blood on Satan's Claw, I don't know how... I think... I haven't seen this movie, but I do think we're dealing with some evil fucking children.
The town becomes infected by the devil skin, leading the local children to engage in demonic rituals and criminal behavior.
I love it. I fucking love it. Do you have one that you're leaning hard toward, or do you want to flip a coin?
I mean, this is where my own blind side, like I've heard of Blood on Satan's Claw before, and it's come up on a lot of lists of movies, horror movies you probably haven't seen, folk horror movies. But then just because it's from Mexico City, I don't want to like sleep on Poison for the Fairies, because I think a lot of those, like, sometimes these lists do kind of skew towards Eurocentric or Hollywood-centric.
Yeah.
You know? I would say let's just flip a coin.
All right. Well, then, let's see here. I've got my coin, got my challenge coin. Yep. So we've got an eagle on this side. It's got wings like fairies. So we'll say the eagle is Poison for the Fairies, and the star is going to be Blood on Satan's Claw. Here
like
we
a
go.
pentagram.
Let's give it a big old flip. Yeah, the pentagram. That's right. I made it to the floor. I'm just going to take it what's on the floor, but it's because I dropped it. But it is an eagle, so we're going to watch Poison for the Fairies.
I think this is the right move. Listen, I really do want to watch Blood and Satan's Claw, but I'm like, hey, what if we left middle-aged Europe for just a hot second?
Yeah, I love this kind of string of foreign films that we're getting. It feels like we've had a bunch of foreign language films lately, and that makes me very happy because it's horror can be really like American centric and Europe, and especially English.
It's
England
the non-traditional choices of the foreign films.
Yes. Yeah, I'm excited for Poison for the Fairies because I really enjoyed Blacker Than the Night.
It's going to be that plus The Bad Seed.
Yeah. Oh, I hope so.
Plus Witchcraft.
Please, dear God. Well, thank you all for listening. Thank you, Cecil, for talking with me. If you have thoughts on November or ideas for other movies that would have been good, Evil Kids period pieces, let us know. We're at Random Horror 9 over on Blue Sky, Instagram, and on Patreon, where we have public discussion threads for every episode, and you don't have to be a paying member to participate. So watch Poison for the Fairies from 1986 with us this week, and come on back next Tuesday for a new episode. Have a restful night with no Kratts helicoptering you from your little barn or nothing. Moo.
Boom.
Random Number Generator Horror Podcast number 9 is hosted by me, Jeffrey Craner, and Cecil Baldwin. Find more of our work on the podcast. Welcome to Night Vale. This show is produced by Night Vale Presents. It is edited by me with music by Cecil and logo by David Baldwin. See original artwork for each episode by David on Instagram. Join us for live streams on Patreon. Watch our recording sessions on YouTube. Chat with us on Blue Sky and contribute to our movie selection process on Letterboxd. We're in all of those places at Random Horror 9. Today's scary story. The devil has come to take your soul, but you lent it to Rick down the street, which means it's basically good as gone.
The UPS Store is making packing and shipping Easter gifts quicker than ever this year with UPS Air. How quick? Quicker than a walk around the park. Quicker than eating all the Easter candies. Quicker than finding a golden egg that you know is stuffed with cash. When you ship UPS Air at the UPS Store, your items arrive on time or your money back. Guaranteed at no extra cost. Exclusively at the UPS Store US retail locations. Send Easter joy on time at the UPS Store. Visit the upsstore.com/air guarantee for full details. Terms and conditions apply.